If you're terrified of dying poor and leaving your kids with nothing, watch this video and learn the one thing that you can do to change all of that. I'm Richard. You don't actually care that I built a multi-million-dollar brand. All you care about is time and dinero. So let's get into it. Here's the problem with being freaking poor. The problem with being poor, everybody says, well, money can't buy happiness. Yeah, well, you know what? Poverty doesn't make you happy either. Being poor doesn't make you happy either. The problem with being poor is that you are trapped in your circumstances. You are locked into place. You literally cannot move outside of where you are. You are stuck, basically helpless. Now, the reason for that, the reason you have no options, is because you are in this cycle of having to pay bills, you have expenses, you have life happening, and all of these things are dragging you back and requiring you to be chained to your circumstances. Think about that for a second. Chained to your circumstances because of the expenses that you have. Of course, the issue is not the fact that you have expenses. You have to live. You have to be able to buy things. That's not the issue. The issue is that your income is so close to your expenses that you are absolutely stuck. You never are able to make forward progress. This is why you're trapped in your job. This is why you can't expand outside of your current situation. And isn't it freaking annoying that people seem to have it a little bit easier than others? I mean, think about Elon and Zuck and Jeff and Gates, like all these guys that have made countless billions and billions of dollars. Meanwhile, you're sitting in a position where you can barely afford to pay your rent and feed your family. Now, the first problem with your scenario is that thought process that just went through your brain of it's easier for somebody else, because it's actually not. The dollar costs the same no matter where you go. The dollar costs the same to create. Every single one of these people put time and pain aside to create what they have created. Now, there are different vehicles that are more successful than others, but that's what I want to talk about. So here's what they did that was completely different and is completely different from what you're currently doing right now. They have become the masters of their time. You see, everybody on this planet gets the same amount of time. You get 86,400 seconds every single day. We all get the same amount of time. What these people have done is they have learned to maximize the amount of time that they are able to be efficient in and the amount of things or tasks or leverage they are able to create and accomplish in the same amount of time that you have. 86,400 seconds. And so mastering time is the first way out of your current situation. Everything boils down to this one element: mastering your time. Time is the one thing that we can never get back. And so every single second of every day counts. And if you learn how to control and master your time, you can actually start to make forward progress and not continue in this perpetual motion of stuck. How do we do that? All right, here's some practical ways that you are currently trapped. And then I want to talk about some practical things that you can do to get out of these traps. All right, first, your situation. It's natural to believe that your situation is unique, that your situation is so different from everybody else's. It's natural. It's our mind's protective mode to say that my situation is harder than everybody else's. Like when we instantly say that somebody else that's made money had it easier or was able to do this because of XYZ, that's us saying that our situation is unique and that if we had their situation, things would have been different. That is the first thing that is trapping you. The second thing is you have stupid expenses that you need to get rid of. If you're paying for Netflix, if you're paying for ridiculous amounts of data on things like these, get rid of them. If you have monthly subscriptions, $7, $5, $12, $14.99, monthly subscriptions on your credit card right now, take them off. Do without. But I don't want to because I love them so much. Then be poor. I don't care. I'm telling you what to do. Here's what you can do. So if you want to change your circumstance, kill the stupid expenses that are literally binding you in chains. The next thing you should kill is social media. The only thing you should do with social media is use it, not consume it. Produce it, not consume it. This mind shift of your time being used to create instead of consume is paramount to becoming a different person so that the situation that you find yourself in is completely different in a year from now. If you want to do that, kill social media. Literally go to your phone and delete the apps. Just do it. Next, kill the random asks. Now, what do I mean by that? Think about in a week, how many friends come to you and they're just like, hey, can you help me with this? Hey, would you mind doing this? Hey, I just need a moment to do this, this, and this. Can you run and do this for me? Like everybody is stealing your time. They're just reaching into you and they're taking it right out of you. They're taking your time. They're literal thieves. All of these random things that are coming into your life to steal your time need to be cut out. Change your location to make that easier. Your location right now, if you've been in a location for a long period of time, changing that location is an excellent way to decouple yourself from binding chains that are keeping you stuck. Decoupling from that will give you time. It will re-energize you with time because you no longer have all of these random obligations that find themselves stealing your time. And right along with that is favors. Everybody knows that favors never go back the other way. Like, I'm not telling you to be a terrible person or not be generous with your time and your money. And what I'm saying is, if you want to get control of where you are, if you want to get control of what is happening in your life, take some drastic measures to make change happen. You can always add back, but cut off these 6 items. Let me show you what you can do to actually help in the correction of those pieces that you're going to address. Number 1, when you reduce your spend, you are reducing the financial and social and emotional struggle and binding that is happening over your brain. When you have things around you that are sucking energy and sucking cash out of your life, it's also sucking your time. Think about how many times you have to do XYZ because you have that thing, whatever it is. So remove them and make it painful. Make it painful enough that it makes an impact in your life. I recommend selling your stupid stuff. Stupid stuff literally is just sucking you dry. Think about it. Take a step back. Look at what is around you. Minimize what you have so that it doesn't subtract from who you are. And it doesn't subtract out of your wallet. Okay? Move Change your number, leave social media. If you do this, if you relocate and you take these practical steps to say, I am leaving, I'm finding another job somewhere else, I'm changing my number, I'm leaving social media, I am decoupling myself from my past so that I can create a new future. Next, I want you to spend 1 to 3 hours every single day working on creating a business or creating some type of income. To do that, you first have to start developing a skill set. So look at the market and see where the skill set that you are lacking is. Maybe it's in advertising, sales, marketing. Any of these skill sets can be improved. When you leverage your time and improve a skill set, you can increase the amount of income and the amount of time that you have control over. This is huge. Spend 1 to 3 hours every single day, after your job, after your work, after whatever it is that is paying the bills right now. Spend 1 to 3 hours, disconnect from everything else, and put that into a business which has the best returns or some type of up-leveling of skill sets. Learn how to say no. This is a very challenging thing, especially depending on your personality type. But saying no will free time. It will create time. Okay, think about it. If you remove everything out of your room except your bed and your desk and a computer, and you just sit there and all you can do is either sleep, change your clothes, or pick your nose, what are you going to do? You're probably going to sit down and do some work. Like, if you don't have any distractions, you're probably going to sit down and do some work. Now, most people don't even know how to actually work. So that goes back to, like, before you can even start, you have to develop your skill sets, raise your skill sets, gain knowledge, gain information, so that you can then incorporate that into creating something where you actually have equity in it, where you have shares of it, where it matters to you, and it's a dream that is literally being brought out of thin air. That is what creating a business is like. What people don't understand is that 1 to 3 hours needs to be deep work. Most people spend 15 minutes every hour actually working. And so if you're not familiar with what deep work is, I suggest go and look up the book, Deep Work. But in order to focus, you have to remove all of the distractions. You have to know what is the priority, and you have to give it everything you have in that moment. And you can't jump around. You can't write notes and go over here and check email and then go over and check social. You have to do one thing. You have to focus, because every time you switch, there's a mental and physical cost of switching between different tasks. And that is going to take time out of you. When you learn how to say no, when you remove the distractions, you can then put in 1 to 3 hours every single day and create something that is for you. It is for your change that you are incorporating into your life and that you are really and truly laying claim to and taking. This is what is required if you want to actually see change in your life. And the last thing I would say is, if you're not already required to work on Saturdays, you need to be putting at least 12 hours in a Saturday every single Saturday. Say no to the fun and say yes to getting a 12-hour Saturday in every single weekend. Look, there's no shortcut. There's no magic keyboard that prints money for the average person. That only exists for the central bank and the Fed. Those are the only people that have that right. But you can change your course of life by improving and increasing your income. And the way you do that is you gain control of your time. It hurts. There's pain associated with change. But embrace it, because if you have 30 years left in your life or 70 years left in your life, the pain of making this monumental change will only last about 12 months. That's it. That's it. That's the time that it takes to get a business off the ground, generating cash flow, and completely reimagining the course of life that you are on right now. If you found this helpful, tell me in the comments below. Hey, listen, if you found this content valuable, then take action right now. One micro action that you can do is smash the like button and sub to our channel. In this channel, I'm going to show you exactly what I do every day to create more and more time and income so that my family has options. And honestly, I never dreamed that these options were possible. I do this by building durable businesses that create monthly cash flow and are sellable. And most importantly, they allow me to live wherever I want. If you want a step-by-step of how I do that, just click the link in the description below. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.